Alright, what's up, Jerry? You astronauts, welcome back. Today we got which trophy means the most in football. When I was watching the Messi versus Lewandowski video, I seen some trophies in there I didn't notice. I wanted to find a video where I knew what trophies meant, and I think this is the closest one I can come to. So comment, subscribe. Let's get into it.
It's been a little over a month since Manchester City won the biggest trophy in English football, the Premier
League trophy,
and Liverpool won the biggest trophy in European football, the Champions League. It has been said by a lot of people that perhaps the two teams would have been happy to switch trophies, since Liverpool are yet to win a top-flight title in the Premier League era, their last title coming 29 years ago, while City have never won the European Cup or Champions League, or even reached a final, despite their recent dominance of the domestic game. Meanwhile, in even more recent times, we have seen Portugal crowned as the first ever UEFA Nations League winners, a competition with little prestige at this stage.
What is it?
That could all change in the future, and the semi-finals of the Copa America will most likely be taking place right around the time that this video is uploaded. Elsewhere,
Copa America,
the
Messi in the
Cup of
winner.
Nations is in full flow, with Sadio Mane's recent comments they would happily trade in his 2019 Champions League trophy with Liverpool for a 2019 African Cup of Nations winners medal with Senegal, attracting a fair amount
Okay, so I'm
of
lost already.
The question ultimately boils down
what trophy
to which
means
trophy or trophies are the most important.
Champions League gotta be the one.
That will vary from person to person.
World Cup gotta be one.
Player.
Champions League gotta be two.
Those of you watching this video in England will most likely have or have had parents or grandparents who consider the FA Cup to be the absolute pinnacle of the club game.
What's the FA Cup?
That competition used to be held in such regard that teams would rest players for league games even if they were in a title race, just so they'd be fresh for an FA Cup knockout tie.
What is it?
Nowadays,
FA Cup?
we see the exact opposite, from teams in the top two tiers at least. So clearly, these things are neither permanent nor linear. I thought I'd give my 2 pennies worth anyway, since this is my YouTube channel. Well, I guess it isn't even my YouTube channel since I don't own it, but it's run by me. I write all the videos, record all the videos. You get the point.
Okay.
With regards to international football,
World Cup would be the biggest.
Sane person out there who would suggest that the World
Cup. That's all I'm finna say. The World Cup is biggest.
Trophy. As a European myself, the European Championships are a huge tournament, and the same goes for all the other continental knockouts.
So all the nationals are
World
one.
Cup holds a special level of prestige, history, and importance. It is a
that's just the best countries going against each other.
In a way, no other football tournament, a club, or international level does it quite the same way.
Yeah, it can't.
I haven't.
It can't give you the feel of the world. The World Cup brings the world to watch football. In America, we not big on football, but if America makes it far in the World Cup, everybody will be watching because you're representing our country. You're representing a country at that point, not a team or a club.
Winning footballer who would swap that trophy for any other if they played a role in their country winning it at least.
That's beautiful.
Now, it has been said that the UEFA
Champions League is second.
Is a more difficult trophy to win than the World Cup these days due to the concentration of talent at the top clubs in Europe, and I would probably tend to agree with that.
Probably, yeah, it is. It's probably harder to get away from Champions League.
The group stages and during the knockout stages is now better than the World Cup. When you look
That's
at teams
crazy
like
to think
Manchester
about
City, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich going out in the first knockout stages of last season's Champions League, whilst Russia and Sweden reached the quarterfinals of the 2018 World Cup, England reached the semis, and Croatia reached the final, it's worth asking how those teams would perform in the other competition.
Of
course, you could say that's just a single season and selective examples, since quality teams like Germany and Spain made early exits from the 2018 World Cup finals in Russia too. But if you spread out over at least the last 3 World Cup finals, I do think it is reasonable to say the quality of the Champions League has exceeded that
the World Cup.
Cup.
That's crazy to think about.
Quality and importance are not the same thing though. I should add. And I'm firmly
importance is a World Cup though.
That the World Cup is still the pinnacle of the club and international.
You would rather have a World Cup.
For what it means to so many people, the audience it attracts, and the fact that it only comes along once every 4 years, there are so many factors. For my money, the World Cup is still the tournament which matters most.
Yeah, but the thing is, the crazy thing, you would think the Olympics soccer will be bigger, but it's not. I asked y'all about that, and y'all was like, to be honest, people really don't care about the Olympics football. When it's Olympics, they don't care, but when it's World Cup, they care.
I think that's a controversial opinion. Moving on from that, what I'm about to say might be. At club level, I suspect somewhere between 75 to 80% of people would now consider the UEFA Champions League to be the biggest trophy.
Yeah.
And I can completely understand that point of view. The standard is tremendous. It contains probably 90%
so then after this should be Premier League, maybe La Liga?
in the world. it's incredibly difficult to win, and it now has enormous history and prestige
Or you
behind
go
it.
Copa Europa.
To be crowned the champions of Europe is a gargantuan achievement.
Yeah.
Certainly, it is the most important knockout competition in club football, having well and truly overtaken the FA Cup in England, the DFB Pokal in Germany, the Copa del Rey in Spain, and so on.
What's the FA Cup?
However, it is my personal opinion that winning a domestic league title is still the most impressive, the most satisfying, and indeed the most important of all the club trophies. A lot of
You think it's more important to win a league trophy than a Champions League trophy? I don't know. Would you rather have a league trophy or a Champions League
think
trophy?
I'm mad for saying
Do you
that.
think it's more
I'll try
important?
to-
No, not what would you rather. Do you think it's more important to have a Champions League trophy or a Premier League trophy? Or like a league trophy?
And why I still feel that way. Or even better, I'll quote someone far more knowledgeable than myself on the matter. Back in 1979, when John Motson interviewed then Nottingham Forest manager Brian Clough, the famous commentator queried Cloughie as to what was the priority for him between the First
To win
Division,
the league.
European Cup, the FA Cup, and the League Cup. Clough batted the question away with borderline disdain, telling John Motson, the Football League, it always has been, and it always will be. When Motti
But why,
inquired as to why Clough felt so strongly about that, the Forest boss replied, because that is the one that you have to have every single aspect of football management about you to win. You've got to have endurance, you've got to
I
have
guess.
talent, you've got to be a little bit daft, you've got to have
Yeah.
strength, psychology, you name it. And of course, you've got to have very good
But don't you gotta have all that
But
to win
it's
a
a
Champions
real
League? When he
endurance
said
battle
that the Champions
over
League wasn't
9 or
around, I
10
don't think.
months.
Well,
That
yes,
was
it was.
40 years ago now, and of course a lot has changed in
Yes, it
football
was. So, don't you have to have the same thing for Champions League? Let me know. Would y'all rather have a league champion, a league trophy, or a Champions League trophy? I think this is a no-brainer. I think you would have a Champions League trophy.
but not really anything that Brian Clough made reference to. Of course, one could argue that the European Cup or Champions League has grown in importance since then, but that interview has always stuck with me, and Clough's comments
Yeah.
still ring true as far as I'm concerned at least.
That's what I was
The
thinking.
league title is
I was
the one
like,
competition that requires you to be at it
wouldn't
every
still
weekend
then
for
the
90
Champions League
minutes
will be big?
against all kinds of different players, systems, and managers on teams who will try to play you off the park to teams who will sit 10 men behind the ball and try not to give you an inch.
it's probably
It is
more
a real
enjoyable to
marathon,
watch
a
league
real
games.
test of not just a team and a player's footballing ability, but also their mental strength. Now, that is not to say that the Champions League doesn't demand a lot of those things as well, but just not over such a long period of time and not on such a regular basis. As we saw for a number of years with Real Madrid, they seemed to
just
really
ran
come
through.
good around maybe February, March time, and that would all build up to their running with the quarter, semi, and final stages of the Champions League.
They were just dominant,
Whilst
bro.
that tendency saw them win a quite incredible and almost unprecedented 4 Champions Leagues in just 5 seasons.
They were just
between
running through people.
2014 and 2018.
They was unstoppable.
They only won 1 La Liga title in that time, because a league title
Huh?
requires a far greater degree of consistency to be more battle-hardened,
'Cause
and not just
I guess what he's saying is a league title is harder, kind of. Because when you have a team that's good like Real Madrid, when they won the 4 Champions League titles, they only won the 1 La Liga title in those 5 years. It's because in the Champions League, they're running through people that may not play them as much. But in the league, they're going up against teams that see them often. So they know it's more of a coach's game. It's more of a who can put the players in the right position to do the right things, bring the team together to win. That's why they wasn't winning La Liga, but they may have been going against teams that's not familiar with them as much as these teams that in the league with. So they couldn't. So they were just running through them. But in the league, they wasn't running through the league. I think they're in Real and Barcelona's in the same league. So Barca was probably winning the Liga titles, but they was probably winning the Champions League title. That's probably how
when
it
it
was
matters most, like you can in a knockout competition. There will be those who say the level of competition
'Cause then
is
it's
much higher
knockout
in
too.
Europe than in the domestic game. And the Real would sacrifice
Instead of
winning
the
the
point
league
system.
to win the Champions League, but that is sort besides the point. No trophy better indicates the talents of a team over 9 or 10 months than the league title.
Yeah.
Man City were the best team in England last season. Barcelona.
And
were the
also,
best.
you have to be dominant for a long time to win a league title. Champions League, you can win a few games because it's knockout. And just make your way to the top, so.
Spain, and Bayern Munich were the best team in Germany. Again, this isn't linear, and there are enormous grey areas. I speak from an English perspective, and as an Englishman,
Let me know what y'all would prefer
are in
then.
a not unique, but almost unique situation with regards to the Premier League, which is a very strong competition from top to bottom. Now, if you were a fan of, say, Steaua Bucharest or Shakhtar Donetsk, clearly winning the
Champions League will be bigger.
seems more impressive than
'Cause
winning
you're in a
the
small
domestic
league.
title, simply because there is such a gulf in class between the teams you face in the two competitions.
Yeah, the league
There will be those
in the
of you who are
big
utterly
league is probably
unconvinced
better.
and think
Premier
the
League, La
Champions League
Liga.
is the pinnacle of the club game, and I totally understand that, and we can agree to disagree. My team has never won either the First Division / the Premier League, nor the European Cup / the Champions League, nor have they even come remotely close. And personally, if you offered me
It's
one
fine,
of
bro.
the two, I would take the Premier League title every day of the week. I suspect that if you offered Leicester City fans the chance to swap their 2016 Premier League title for a Champions League title, few would agree. It's also worth pointing
Leicester fan, baby, you know we had that one fluke, man. That was one of the greatest things. I looked at, I wasn't a Leicester fan at the time, but I watched the video on it. It's crazy how that happened, bro.
out the
From where they
time
went to where
was
they,
actually
it's crazy.
commenting in direct opposition to his
Nobody
legacy
believed in them.
in many
They did it.
respects when he made those comments. Few managers win as many
So that Premier League trophy is sacred, bro. Like, they did that. Nobody believed in them, and they won a Premier League. That's crazy.
European titles than domestic wins, but the charismatic former Middlesbrough striker was one of those managers. He won back-to-back European Cup titles at Nottingham Forest, tying the number of First Division titles that he won as a manager. Now today's video is the first sort of feature-style opinion piece I've done in a little while, the last one being our look at the criticisms of Man City and whether they were indeed ruining football as some have claimed.
500
I know a lot
billion.
of you like and even prefer this style of video, and I'm happy to do more of them if they prove to be popular, particularly in terms of
500 billion.
so if there are any future video ideas you'd like to see me look at, preferably ones with a
Well, he said it. If you want to see any future videos, I don't feel like we got closure. I feel like y'all find a better video. I want like all the trophies, like MVP, goal scorer, assist scorer. I want all the trophies and what they mean. If somebody has a video out there, if y'all can find one, ask me in the video. Let me know which one you think is better. League trophies, World Cup, national trophies, UEFA Champions League. Let me know which one you like. You think is better. Ask me in the video. Yeah, I love y'all. I am out.